Let's talk about how you can pass Blackrock's first round video interview. What's up guys, it's Mike from Job Ready English here with another video to help you get hired. Today we're going to be talking about the investment banking giant Blackrock and what you need to know to help you pass their first round video interview. We're going to be walking you through the stages of their application process, concentrating on what you can expect in their first round video interview, and discussing with you the questions that you're going to get and how to think about answering those so you can crush that video interview. We're going to be taking this from our most recent research from publicly available sources for 2023, which we've compiled together in this research note. You can find this research note and everything you need to pass your Blackrock video interview in our Pass the Interview pack in the first link in the description down below. So let's get started by talking about what can you expect from Blackrock's entire application process and what you need to know. So you can expect 3 stages. First of all, you're going to have to submit an online application and a CV. Secondly, there's going to be the first round video interview, which for Blackrock is in the style of a virtual cover letter. And lastly, you can expect another round of interviews or potentially a super day. If you're wondering, well, would I get an interview again or would I get a super day? Graduates tend to get super days, professionals tend to get more rounds of interview. So let's specifically talk about the virtual cover letter and what you can expect. So here's what's going to happen. You're going to submit your online application and your CV to Blackrock, and you'll then get an email from their video interview provider, which is HireView, asking you to submit a virtual cover letter, which is going to have 2 questions. Now these 2 questions you'll generally get 2 minutes to answer and 1 minute to respond. And here's what you could expect. Why do you want to work for Blackrock? Tell us something that is not on your CV. So let's deal with these questions first, and then we're going to deal with 3 other questions which we came across, which you might get as your second interview question. So first of all, how would you think about answering that question, why do you want to work for Blackrock? Well, firstly, you want to make sure that you do your homework about the company. Now this should take you no longer than 15 minutes. You could go to their About Us, their history page, their company values. You could even read their annual report. I would just suggest that you would read the introduction to the annual report. And all you need to remember is 5 fast facts. Say it with me, 5 fast facts. So 5 unique facts about Blackrock that have enticed you to apply for them. What you don't want to say is, I want to work for Blackrock because it's a large investment banking company, because it has lots of world famous clients, because I work with a brilliant team. All of these things are true, but they're not unique. They're not specific. And most importantly, they're not going to differentiate you from your competition. Everyone's going to say that. So you don't want to be coming up with an answer that everybody else is going to be saying. So with these 5 fast facts, what you're going to do is just talk about very specific things. It could be their financials, their general revenue. How has your department performed? Any new projects, new technology that they're using, interesting clients that they've worked on, deals that they've recently done. Pick out those facts, and as a little bonus, relate one of those facts to yourself. So if you're a woman applying to join to Blackrock, you might say, well, I really like the fact that you're encouraging diversity through your directors. If you're from a Black, Asian or minority ethnic group, then you might want to talk about one of their career community groups that supports BAME careers, for example. But making that specific to yourself will also give you that sense of energy, that sense of motivation, that you're like, yeah, this is something I'm really interested in. But it is all about Blackrock and all about those specific facts. So what about question 2? Tell us something that is not on your CV. Well, when you really think about it, there's a lot that's not on your CV, but you don't have to pick something that is different. So very often when I've been preparing people for this, they'll say, well, I mean, all of my good stuff is on my CV. And I say, aha, but actually, there's probably a lot of stuff you've left off on your CV which might be related to something that you're really proud of that you did during your studies, something relating to a hobby that you have, something that you achieved while at your workplace which you didn't have enough space to describe in your CV. I would really make this akin to a question like, what is your greatest achievement? What is the thing that you're most proud of? Is it coming to study in another country? Is it an award that you won? Is it a scholarship that you got? Something that you thought, wow, I really overcame a massive challenge that was really difficult for me to do. And really what this question is asking is saying, how do you solve difficult problems in your life? What are the things or the thing that is so impressive and important about you that differentiates you from everybody else, that really separates you from the ground and makes me stand up and go, wow, that's amazing. How did you do that? So let's look at 3 other questions that we came across. Because for Blackrock, the virtual cover letter seems to have been standard for at least a year or 2 now, but there were 3 other questions that came up that made us go, oh, that's interesting. Maybe they switch out that question too. Question number 1, why this role? So if you want an in-depth explanation of how to answer this question and the free worksheet, make sure you click the card up above. So when you're talking about why this role, let's start off by me telling you where people normally go wrong. They just talk about themselves. They go, well, I'd be good because I've done this and I've done this and I'm really impressive and I've done this module and so on and so forth. And what it leaves the recruiter feeling is, yeah, but do you really understand the role? So whenever you're answering this question, just think about splitting it up into 2 parts. So number 1, you're going to say, well, what would I do? So if I was a finance analyst at Blackrock, what would be the things that I would do day to day, that I would carry out? Who are the people that I would talk to? What are the daily tasks that I'd need to achieve? And then the second thing is, what are the skills that I would need to be great at this job? What are the strengths that I would need to demonstrate? And you can find all of this stuff from the job description. So look through the job description for your role, pick out the skills that are really important, and I would say pick 2 or 3 skills that are really important for that job and say, well, I've got really great Excel skills because I've actually used that in my course for 3 years, and I've got a really advanced understanding of Excel and macros and VBA and pivot tables, and really demonstrate why you're good at that by giving proof, by giving your experience. Question number 2, tell me about a recent piece of business news. Now, I love this question, and it's something that I often ask the people when they want to go into investment banking. Working in an investment bank means you really should know about business, about the industry, what's going on in the world right now, and how can we help our clients to achieve their financial goals. So a recent piece of business news doesn't need to be complicated. In fact, I would recommend that it shouldn't be complicated at all. Don't try to explain global inflation or the latest depression or, you know, something that's really difficult to understand and encapsulate in 2 minutes. Make it really easy. And here's what I suggest. Use something simple like BBC Business News. Pick out a news article about a company or a subject that's simple and easy to understand. Explain that and use the data and statistics so you give a really accurate summary of what you'd need to do in there. And then finally just round off and say, well, what does this mean? So this is the piece of business news, but what does this mean? What's your opinion? How could we take advantage of this? How would this affect our clients? And that's a really great way to answer this question because it's demonstrating your ability to take complex information and make it really simple and deliver it to a general audience that may not understand business that well, or probably just doesn't have a lot of time and they're looking to you for an answer or response. Finally, question 3, what Blackrock values do you show? Now, every company's interview process is built upon their core values, and this is a great opportunity for you to put your research in or just get the research note because we already found out what Blackrock values are and how you can structure an answer around it, and pick out one of their values. So it could be, for example, integrity, excellence, discipline, amazing client service. And then you just pick out an example where you've demonstrated that. I demonstrated exceptional client service when I was working in a call center because I had somebody call me up with a complaint who was really upset because they had seen a fraudulent transaction on their credit card. I took the time to listen to them. I understood that why they were upset, and I empathized with them by repeating back their situation, their problem. I then gave them reassurance and said that I would go and speak to my manager, look into this immediately, and I would give them a call at the end of the day. Even if the situation wasn't resolved, I was going to let them know what was happening, because really, even though they were angry, I knew that they were just worried. They were frustrated and they were fearful, and I wanted to make them feel heard. So that's a great way of demonstrating that you really understand the core value of exceptional customer experience. Guys, I hope that you've enjoyed this video about Blackrock. If you want any more help, then make sure you check out our past the interview pack down below. Please, if you've enjoyed this video, give us a thumbs up. Just let us know that we're doing a good job. Drop us a comment down below and let us know what else could we do in this video or future videos to help you get hired. So a great video to watch after this is our final interview tips, which is coming up right now in a thumbnail. Wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I wish you the best of luck. See you later.